Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 15 of my Arsenal Football Manager 2015 Let's Play. Hopefully you guys are good. Today we have a game against Chelsea. As you can see here, it's 3rd v 4th. The league is tight at the top. We've mounted a recovery of sorts. Let's take a look at our schedule so you guys can see what's happened since last episode. And last episode, of course, was the Manchester City game. Since then, we've played 4 games, 3 wins. We've beat West Brom 1-0, we beat Burnley 1-0, 2 less than convincing performances, but just to get the wins was great, and a 2-1 win against Freiburg in the Champions League. So in the game against West Brom, you guys can see it here, we won 1-0, a good away win. Januzaj getting the goal, did however get injured, which was a little bit unfortunate, but it was a game that could have gone either way. I guess Januzaj taking the chance that came his way was the difference. The other game was against Burnley, Alexis Sanchez getting the goal here. This was probably a game that we could have won by a lot more. And the other game that we won in this period was the 2-1 win against Freiburg, which involved a comeback, which was great to see. As you can see, Memphis, Depay and Pogba with the goals. Someone a few episodes ago mentioned the fact that Depay, he doesn't... his last name is his dad's last name, and he doesn't talk to his dad, family issues. But essentially, I should be calling him Memphis, because he has that on the back of his shirt. So we're going to go with that from now on. But anyway, this was the game against Freiburg, and within 7 minutes... Klaus just scored a wonder strike. It was incredible from 25 yards, and I was sat there worried, going down a goal. Obviously, we had a few wins in a row, but we've been in very iffy form. However, there was a superb fight back as Depay or Memphis there got the first goal, and then right before half-time, we made it 2-1. Paul Pogba, of course, the record transfer. I believe this might have been his first goal for the club, so that was a good thing to see. You can see here, Royce working it around, Pogba alive for the rebound and was able to bury it. So that was a really good result. And also you'll notice that we actually had a keeper for this game. So yeah, looking at Pogba here, I'll just show you guys him. You can see here, age 22, he's been coming for 55 million. He struggled to begin with, I'm going to be honest, but then our entire team struggled. But he's slowly getting things back on track. That was his first goal as well for the club against Freiburg, so that was good. Now, you may notice the 4th game in this kind of sequence of games I'm kind of alluding to. It was pretty embarrassing. We lost 3-0 to Liverpool in the Capital One Cup, which is really disappointing. It's a competition that my staff and my board aren't judging me on in terms of my performance in it. However, regardless, I played a fairly strong team, and so to be beat so convincingly was pretty tough to take. Liverpool ultimately very clinical with the shots they had on target, and as you can see here, Szczesny with a 6.6 rating certainly had a bad day in the office. So in terms of where those results leave us, if I just show you our competitions, you can see here we are top of our Champions League group. We are 5 points clear with 3 games left, so at this point a win in our next game would be enough to secure us a spot in the knockout stages, which is good. Looking at the Premier League, you can see here we're in 4th. Good recovery by the team. We are 4 points off Manchester City. Today we play Chelsea. If we lose here again, it's another game that could potentially see us fall right off the pace. So I'm hoping that we can kind of go out there, get a win today, and hopefully kind of maintain our title push. As you can see as well, Capital One Cup and the Community Shield, both of which, of course, we lost in, not viewed as important. Meanwhile, the FA Cup, I'm expected to reach the final in. So anyway, looking at our squad for today's game, we're pretty much at full fitness. There's no real injuries to tell you guys about, which is nice to say. In terms of my best 11, this is kind of what I interpreted it to be at the start of the season. I think this is the team I'm going to stick with to begin with. You can see here we do have plenty of players on and off the bench who are able to come on for us, which is quite nice. The players, all in all, are slowly improving. If you look at the average ratings, a lot more players in the 7s now, which is quite nice. If we look at the goal-scoring front, just so you guys can see who's getting the goals for us, Sanchez has got 4, Memphis has got 4, Royce has got 3, Giroud with 3. Sterling, Raheem had a little bit of a disappointing start to the season, to be honest. But then that's kind of been the story across the board. Royce perhaps the standout performer with his 5 assists and 3 goals. So anyway, let's get into today's game. As I mentioned, we are going to be playing Chelsea. It's not going to be easy, but I'm hopeful that we can get a result here. But we are going to be playing away from home. As you can see in their last game, Chelsea beat PSG 5-0. So perhaps there's a little bit more pressure on us to kind of I guess, show them what we're made of and not kind of get rolled over by them. Another thing that's worth noting is the fact that obviously we played in the Capital One Cup. Chelsea didn't have a game midweek in that, so they are going to be, in fighting fitness. Their players are going to be fit for this game, whereas on our front, a few players not quite 100% fit. But anyway, let's get into this game. You can see here they're starting 11. They're playing a similar shape to us, to be honest. Diego Costa, I think, just off his position, is probably a complete forward support. Hazard and Schürrle wingers. Oscar maybe a shadow striker. Willian holding the line with Fabregas, probably playing the playmaker role in the centre. Pretty standard team, to be honest. Kind of curious to see Filipe Luis looking like he's playing a wing-back role, whereas Azpilicueta is still playing the full-back role or wing-back defend. But anyway, hopefully we can get a result here. The only change from the real Chelsea team that you can see is N'Koulou at the back, so they've not really made too many acquisitions in the kind of, I guess, first year of this save. So we are away from home. There's probably not too many expectations on us to win this because, of course, Chelsea are above us and they've got a game in hand. However, we are, regardless, going to need to win this. I kind of mentioned this last episode when we played City, but it's these big games which are kind of going to shape our season. Last year, we beat all the big teams. We showed some great resilience, some great resistance to them, and we got results against them, and that ultimately kind of won us the title because other teams slipped up against us. But anyway, hopefully we can get a result here. Marcelo going to mop up the play. There's options. Pogba, Ozil. Good bit of play here. Nice to see us get a little bit of time on the ball. Fortunately, though, Sterling going to misplace his pass. Something that's kind of been a little bit too common this year. You'll notice Chambers playing right back. Of course, last episode we did sell Debuchy. He's kind of stepped up his game a lot. And Memphis with a real chance there, but he couldn't bury it. And then he just fouls Azpilicueta. But no, Chambers has really adapted well to his right back role, which is good. Gonna have to defend a long throw here. Azpilicueta absolutely launching it into the box. And now, is there a chance on the break? We have some real pace. No, Oscar breaks down the play. Chambers, though, a nice interception, but they come back at us again. Filipe Luis on the overlap. Eden Hazard options in the box, and Oscar is there to bury it, to make it 1-0 to Chelsea. That is a disappointing start to go a goal down. There's really now going to be some pressure on us. Hopefully we can step things up. Looking at the stats, Chelsea probably having the better of the play. They've had a few more shots, but they've not been on target. We are struggling to get a hold on this game, however. Schürrle with another effort there, which is parried away. Come on, boys. Can we break here? Fabregas, Oscar. Looking at the positives, we are closing them down quite nicely. We've got a chance here, though. Depay whips in the ball, cleared away. Schürrle, there's a counter-attack available here. Getting caught a little bit narrow at the back. At least now we're matching them man for man, but you can see we're playing quite a high line. I'm tempted to drop a little bit deeper just because Hazard and Oscar and Schürrle have some real pace, and there's going to be little balls like that over the top, which I think could hurt us. So we are going to do that. We're going to drop deeper, and I'm also going to look for a little bit more direct passing. But anyway, we're on the attack here. Sterling, Ozil, Pogba, Depay, Sanchez, bury that. Oh, and it's saved. That's a real opportunity. Looking at it, 5 clear-cut chances for both teams combined, but only 1 goal. Not been a truly great exhibition, I guess, of finishing so far. But maybe with a few little tactical tweaks that we've done, dropping a little bit deeper, trying to limit the space in behind, we can create something here. The reason I switched to more direct passing is because with our players at the back sitting a little bit deeper in terms of the actual passes, I need them to be a little bit more ambitious to get the ball up the field quickly on the break. But anyway, you can see what's going on here. Curiously, and I don't know if this is meant to be the case, but Marcelo gives away a penalty. But our shadow striker always stays up, and I'm not sure if I like that. Like, I'm almost tempted to change the shadow striker to a attacking midfielder. But anyway, Fabregas with the penalty. He buries it to make it 2-0. We have struggled against Chelsea so far on this save. We got knocked out by them in the Capital One Cup last year. I think we lost to them once in the league and beat them once in the league. They've been the big team who we've kind of struggled, I guess, to overcome. And we are struggling again here. Not been the best first half. We've got a chance maybe here with off the break. No, we haven't, Jack. It's the pointless first highlight of the second half. And now Azpilicueta to launch another one into the box, and it goes in. Diego Costa just poor set piece marking there. Marcelo is really struggling for fitness. Unfortunately, we are going to have to move Balanta out to left back, which is less than ideal. I'm actually going to make a triple change here, I think. I feel like something has to change. So that's what we're going to do right now. Just some really disappointing performances by a number of players. So I'm going to make a triple 48th minute sub. We've got to change something. It's not going to plan this game. We are not playing great. And it kind of shows on the scoreline, I guess. So I'm going to drop... Can Barbosa drop deeper? He really can't. I'm going to change them to wingers. I actually agree with what my game is doing there, because I want them to track back a little bit more and hopefully help us out when the Chelsea try and kind of use their wing backs. In terms of our actual instructions, I'm going to get rid of exploit the flanks and play wider. We're going to push higher up and close down more. I've kind of just got to really apply some pressure and hope that we can get something potentially on the break. So we're going to go with that. And I'm also going to switch to counter, because I kind of feel like Chelsea might over kind of chase this game. They might go for a few more goals, and it might just give us a way back into the game if we can maybe hit them on the break once or twice. But looking at it, that is simply not the case with 20 minutes left and nothing really going. I've now got to go on attack. We have to change something. It's been a really disappointing game, this. That set-piece goal, really tough to take, that third one from the absolutely launched ball into the box. But you'd have to say Chelsea have just been the better team, as Hazard goes close for them there. They have just completely outplayed us. We're not playing great. 3-0 down just 2 minutes into the second half meant that we were always going to be kind of struggling. To concede a penalty for the second goal is bitterly disappointing too, because it was pretty needless to give away by Marcelo diving in. It wasn't even as if it was kind of a true goal-scoring opportunity. It was a chance in kind of the just entering the box. But if we could get a late goal, that might be a consolation of sorts. But I really can't see that happening at this point in time. Looking at the stats, they've just been the better team. They've had more of the ball, which you'd kind of expect from Chelsea at home. But it's what we've done when we've not had the ball that's kind of my greatest concern. The fact that we had two clear-cut chances when Chelsea were 1-0 up, and we failed to convert either, like that would have been our route back into the game. But anyway, that is full time there. Tough to take. But not a lot I could have done, I don't think. The more that game went on, the more it kind of slipped away from us. Chelsea, of course, a very good team, and just a bad day in the office. You can see the entire performances by our team were just shocking, really. So that performance does see us actually stay in fourth because of games in hand and all that jazz. So I guess we've got away with a little bit there because we had the early kickoff. We could potentially slip down, outside of the Europa League places, which would be pretty tough to take. But I don't know. It's a tough game, that one. But if you look at our schedule, we've got some easier games coming up. I think the next live com is going to be the one against Manchester United. In the Champions League, we're doing really well. If we can beat Freiburg in our next game, it will leave us in a situation where I can actually rotate players for the other Champions League games, which would be quite nice. Looking at the Premier League games we've got in the meantime, there are 5 very, very winnable games. Hopefully we can turn around our fortunes there. As always, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.